How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm not sure. How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm not sure. How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm not sure. Let me know if my connection is good. Been having problems with my Wi-Fi connection, so if you could tap your screen, I would really appreciate it. Tap, tap, tap. It's been a minute since I've been on. I usually come on, every single day. I've been busy. I was actually at one of my daughter's rental properties, so I was doing a live over there, so that went well. Had some people in there always asking questions, and that's a good thing because just trying to help people get to financial freedom. A lot of people are tired of they were like me, they were tired of their corporate America jobs. They wanted something different. They wanted a change. So that's basically what I'm here to help people. And if you have any questions about real estate, let me know. Put them in the chats. Now, some people get confused. They think when I do real estate, they think I do wholesaling and fixing and flipping, and that's not what I do. It's strictly the buy and hold strategy. I love doing it, and that's how you build wealth. So if you have any questions, again, put them in the chats. I'll be more than welcome to answer any questions. I'm about to have my daughter on because I'm mentoring her. She bought her first home about 2-3 years ago, and I walked her through the process. She came up with the fundings, and I was just walking her through the process on buying the property, getting it rehab, and renting it out. So that was very successful. She held on to it for just about 3 years. Cash flow every single month. We got a great tenant in there, and then we're deciding to sell it. She wants to venture off and to do something else, but it was a great experience for her learning and me teaching her about the real estate. So I really enjoyed teaching her and getting her that exposure because, of course, I do it. Her father does it. So it was a great experience in mentoring her through the process. And I will have her on in just a minute just to talk about her journey, what she liked, what she didn't like, what was the breakthrough, things like that. So that way everybody can learn. Do y'all have any questions about real estate, guys? What do y'all want to know? I'm in the Texas market. I buy real estate. I buy them, fix them up, and then rent them out. So I've been doing that for a long time. I like the fact of getting cash flow every single month, so passive income, building wealth. So currently I have over 16 single-family houses, and then I also have apartments. Now, I'm not here to teach apartments, just single families. You don't need a license for this. You don't have to have a degree. I want to make sure we get this clear. But you do have to have an open mind and wanting to make a change in your life if that's what you want to do. So that's where I'm here to help people out. Do we have any questions in the chats? Put them in the chats if you have any questions about real estate. I'd be more than welcome to answer anybody's questions, all right? Something's wrong with this thing. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah, that's it with me, guys. Does anybody have any questions about real estate? Tell me what city and state you're from. What city and state are y'all from? And if y'all will, guys, can you tap your screen? That lets me know that my system is working, that I'm communicating with you, that you can hear me. If you can simply tap your screen first, okay? That way, like I said, let me know. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I don't know what's going on with my live. I feel like my live. Okay, so Lindsay is from Fort Worth. All right, awesome. All right, who else? Where y'all from? Let's see here. All right. I'm about to Indianapolis. Elizabeth Ramirez. Awesome. I'm about to get my daughter on. She's about to come in here because, like I said, she got her first home about 2.5-3 years ago, and I helped her through the process, and I was mentoring her. We are selling the property now, but she wants to talk about her journey. And that way you can learn from her, and of course I was teaching her, but you can learn through her experience. All right, so it's a good thing. She's about to come on in just a second. You're an amazing dad. She is blessed. Well, I really do appreciate that, Elizabeth. I really do appreciate that.
Look, Dad, look at this picture of Grandma. It's good.
That's a good picture.
Yeah.
That's a real good picture.
She said, "Oh, shout, I look good."
All right, so yeah, I just like teaching people about real estate, but more important, I was teaching my daughter, and she caught on to it. She enjoyed it, but here she is now, and she's going to share her experience because I just want you to see this is something that's doable, and it doesn't matter about your age or anything like that. All right, so there's my daughter Jasmine. All right, so I want to start asking y'all questions. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I turned it off and turned it back on again. So Jasmine, let the viewers know, when did you buy your property? When was the first time you bought it?
So I bought my home back in 2022. I was 23 years old. My father actually mentored me throughout the entire process because if it wasn't for him, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't have done it. Just because I don't have experience or knowledge in real estate investing. I don't have a license, a LLC. I know that's a few questions that popped up, but that's how I started, was just having good credit, having some extra cash on the side to just get started. And of course, the knowledge from my father.
Okay, awesome. So with that being said now, what was the best experience or what was your breakthrough or what was one of the things that you liked the most during this process of learning the buy and hold strategy and renting out your property?
The cash flow was good. I didn't know that you can cash flow, but on top of that, just being able to hold the property because I'm in the process of actually selling it. My closing date is in in 2 weeks, August. I didn't get that. I didn't understand at that point where the value of the property actually increased over just 3 years. 3 years went by really fast.
So how much is the property worth now?
I'm selling it for $225,000.
Okay, how much did you buy it for?
$149,000.
149,000, and it's worth 220. You're selling it for 225,
Mm-hmm.
and you had it for 3 years, and you were cash flowing.
Mm-hmm.
How was the process of screening the tenant? What did you have a Section 8 tenant in there or a regular tenant? Tell us about that.
So it just so happened that it was just a regular tenant, no Section 8. I know my father, he does Section 8. We did I would say we went through a lot of screenings because I know it's very important to have the right person in your home because I was just afraid of the amount of damages that were going to happen, but we actually went through 7+ people, asked them questions like, are their financial background, are they employed, or have they ever been evicted, just their track record. So I didn't end up with a Section 8 tenant. She just so happened to not be Section 8.
Yeah. So somebody asked a question, can I buy a property? Now this platform, I speak about only real estate investing. I'm not teaching people how to go out there and buy their primary home. That's not what I teach here. I teach people how to primarily buy single family houses for investments so they can build generational wealth and get cash flow. That's all I do. That's all I teach. Not Section 8 specifically from the Section 8 family side, just as a real estate investor. All right. So let me ask you another question. How old are you? Let the viewers know how old you are.
My age?
Yeah.
I'm 25 now, but I got the home when I was 23.
So your age when you're 23, that's still okay. All right. So you could be as young as 23 or even a little bit younger and still be able to get into real estate. What was the worst thing about the process? What was something that you said, man, I wish I didn't have to go through that, or
maybe 2 things was you can't really control it, but you can't really, I don't know how to explain it, but the tenant, it's very tricky to know if someone's going to take care of your home when it's not their home. They're just living in it temporarily. So my fear was how much of a repair cost would really have to come out of pocket, or just those were my thoughts. The condition of the home was my main concern.
Okay. Was your credit the best? Did you have the best credit? And just give us a range of what your credit score was when you bought it.
I think my credit score was around in the 700s, I think. No, maybe a little bit lower, not too low, not like 600 or nothing like that.
Okay, so
Not
it was
800.
it wasn't an 800, it wasn't a 700 because I think it's 700 is the best, but or 800 maybe the 800 is the best. But the point is, you don't have to have the best credit. When I first started out in real estate, my credit wasn't that great, and I didn't have a whole lot of money. So you don't have to have perfect credit. Okay, I always want to make that clear. Let's see what other questions I'm thinking about. Does anybody have any questions to ask? Because really, it's a learning process.
How do you know when questions come up?
You'll see it in here. You'll see it in the chats. So, who out there feels like, and did you have an LLC when you did this? That's another question.
No LLC, no license, just guidance.
How helpful was the mentorship? Was me mentoring you or having somebody to help you and guide you?
100% helpful.
So
I wouldn't have done this at all, because I would be, if for example, if I was just to go straight in, I would have missed so many things from the very beginning. Like, he taught me to put out, during the contract, when the contractors were there, like not remodeling, but like rehabbing the home, I would have never thought to start promoting and showing the home then. I would have just waited till it was tip-top shape, but he has his reasoning behind why he would do it, so it made a lot of sense.
So she was saying, and which most people do when they get into investment properties and they do the rehab, one of the things that I do is I start marketing as soon as I close on the deal. As soon as I close on the deal and my contractor's already starting to work, I already start to put it up on the market and get it pushed on the market. That's the key. Most people, this is what I did at the very beginning, I would wait till everything was done and then I would market it. You're wasting a lot of time. People want to actually go through your property and see it in the process of it actually getting rehabbed. Oh man, I'm about to buy this house or rent this house out, and I get the fresh paint, I get the brand new appliances, he's redoing the floor. People love that. Let me answer some questions.
So what Elizabeth said, she said, after the sale of the property, do you plan on buying another? So my goal is to buy another property. I enjoyed the fact that it was a great tax deduction. Because I also run my business online, I wanted to not just store the money in the bank, I wanted to allow my money to just like work for me, you know, because he teaches wealth and building your portfolio. So yeah, in the future I do plan on getting into real estate again.
That's the key. And when somebody's asked me thoughts on SOFR, you might have typed that in wrong, or applying a 2% above debt service minimum. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so let me show you her property. Does anybody, because I if you want to, I can show you what the property looked like, okay? And then we can show you the after pictures. If you want to see it, tap your screen so that way I can take you to the process. Tap your screen. Let's get to 1.5 and ask me some questions that are really legit and not trying to, and really people trying to ask me questions to learn something. But let's get to 1.5 and then answer some questions, because I want to show y'all some before pictures and after pictures of her property and some things that you can learn from right here in this live. Just some things that you can learn from.
You got 1.5 likes on this live?
Yeah, right there.
What that is?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, we already at 1.5 likes, 1,000 likes. I appreciate it. I want to show y'all some before and after pictures of our property. Now, I want to tell you something. This property, I'm going to give you a little background. Jasmine, how did we find this property?
Through his connections.
Through my connections, which I teach you how to do this. So specifically tell them my connection. Was it a wholesaler, a realtor, or what?
This one, I think it was a realtor. What basically happened was I let my dad know, like, okay, it's time. I have some money set aside to actually jump in and start real estate. I just need hand holding. What's the first step? So he said that he needs to reach out to his realtor, right?
Yep.
And then within 24 hours, the realtor said, okay, let's go check out the house. So this is the house y'all are going to see.
Literally within 24 hours, he returned my call, and I show you how to do this. It's not brain science, but you can be able to do this, and it takes a little bit of effort. Let me show you some before and after pictures of her property, okay? When we first bought the property, this is what it looked like, okay? And by the way, we bought this below market value. So here's what I want y'all to see. Anybody can do this. It just takes some time. You got to network with people. But this is what the property looked like. She bought it for $149,000, okay? Now, when I say she bought it for $149,000, she didn't pay cash, okay? It's not buying this house for cash. We're leveraging. This is the key, and this is the beauty about real estate. You leverage by using other people's money. This house was needing work. The owner of the property wanted to sell it because they were going through some financial difficulties, right? So they were tired. They wanted to get rid of it, and we wanted to buy it. So I bought it, or she bought it below market value. But look at what it looked like before. It was in bad shape. It did need rehab. There was no way I could just take over the property and then start renting it out. It needed work. So one of the things that it had in the backyard, it was a big backyard. That fence was already put up. We didn't put that up. But something that I don't like is right here. This is a risk right here as a real estate investor and as a landlord. That pool was dirty, and it was actually out of service. But they didn't take care of it. You could see it had green algae in there. Just nobody could swim in there. That was a bad pool. You don't want to get in there. And what we also did, we added some square footage because we took one of the bedroom or one side of the garage because it was a 2-car garage, and we added a bedroom. These are little things you could do to add value to the property. Who likes this information so far? I'm just curious. Tap your screen and give me a thumbs up if you like this. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Tap your screen and give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this information so far, because I want to make sure I'm giving you value. Tap your screen and give me a thumbs up. Jen, we need a charger.
What, you need a charger?
Yeah. Because I'm going to plug it in right over here. I can't find mine. Or maybe you can get upstairs and get Jalen's. That's not going to work. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure all of us are on the same page. Okay, great. Let me show you some more pictures of the... It was about $20,000 worth of rehab. Again, it's the type of loan that we use takes care of that. We use an investor type of loan. So she did have to come out of pocket. It was worth it. But the point is, guys, it's all about leveraging using other people's money. This rehab took about 3 months. About 3 months rehab. All right. It took about 3 months to rehab this property. I'm going to show you the after pictures in just a minute, but I'm just showing you all the little details right here. Look how much she had to get the contractors to get the trash out. I mean, it was a process, okay? And I used to do the same thing too while I was working at corporate America. So as long as you have a team in place, I show you how to do that, and you leverage, you can make this happen. But here's what it looks like when we first bought it. That AC unit, see, we didn't come out to pay cash for the rehab, right? What? Okay. This is that's obviously an old AC unit, but we end up getting a new one. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But look how bad this property was. Okay, so we added some square footage to it. Like I said, that's a 2-car garage. We left this garage available and fixed up, but we made this into a bedroom, and I will show you more in that in just a minute. Okay?
It said how long did it take to rehab?
Yeah, I answered her already.
Oh.
I answered it.
And that's me.
Right. Yeah, that's her right there. So this is her property. She's filming because she's a content creator as well. So there she is at the property. Yeah, she just documented. But look at the property again. I'm going to show you the after pictures in just a second. But the whole key is buying these properties, getting them rehabbed, and then getting this thing rented out. And she was making cash flow every single month. Oh, By the way, another reason why we chose this property, tell the viewers why I decided for you to buy this property. It wasn't just because my realtor told me about it, but what are some of the key things that I look for?
I know you like single family homes that are middle class, not too fancy, but not too
Right.
down low. But you also like that there's like grocery stores, schools around, basically a family friendly home, someone that can raise their child at, especially there's a school in their neighborhood too.
Yep.
So that was a plus. You like to have 4 bedrooms,
3 to 4.
3 to 4 bedrooms. So the home, when I bought this home, it was a 3 bedroom, but we added additional room, so that made it a total of 4.
By adding in the garage. We took one of the garages and made it a room.
Yeah. So
All right. So we added some square footage and we brought the value up. Now, I'm going to show you the after pictures of this property. Y'all ready for this? Because it even gets better to me. It's like, and I hope y'all like this because I'm actually teaching y'all something. It's not about showing you any of my materialistic stuff. It's really just showing you the process so you can go out there and do this too. Because don't think that you can't. You can. You just have to have the right guidance and the right help. But you are able to do this. Let me finish showing you these pictures first, though. So again, this is what it looked like before. Where was I at? Now again, I don't like to have pools in my rental properties because it becomes a liability. But this was her house before we bought it. I was going to show you the pool, some more of the pool. It was in a great neighborhood. It's in a great neighborhood, so I like that. Here's the front door. We end up replacing the front door. Do you pay contractors labor and materials, or buy the materials and pay for labor? Elizabeth, that's a choice that's I wouldn't say it's good or bad. It's really a preference to you. I like to buy it with them having the material in there. That's just me personally, but you could do either way. That's what I like to do. Now, here it is right here. We had to strip all the, we had to get all the flooring up. You can see right here. I mean, we just went down to the bare and it's getting everything fixed up. Doing the flooring. We kept the same countertops. That wood panel wall, we kept that, and I'll show you more about that. What's the beginning and added square footage of the property? Girl, let's see. The beginning square footage was like 1,100, something like that. But we added some more square footage because of the garage. And that's what made the big difference right there. I can't remember exactly how much it was. But look at this right here. This is one of the bedrooms right here. I think this is the master bedroom. Yeah, this is the master bedroom, yeah. Again, we're getting everything stripped down. And look, the contractors do the work. It's not like we have to go over there every single week. One of the things we did was we went over there a couple of times a week to check on the contractors, make sure they were getting this stuff done. What I did with this pool, what we got done, we got it pumped out, okay? And then we got it filled in. I don't want to have to keep this pool and get it cleaned up and be a landlord with a pool. Don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure. That's a huge liability potential if you go out there and buy these properties. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't keep pools. I'd rather fill it in. But she did good on this property as far as finance-wise and money-wise and equity capture and cash flow. And she's taking that money and is going to do other things with it. But here's the property on the backyard. I'm going to show you. Okay, here's where we added that extra room. This is what helps so much. So this was a two-car garage. This one we added a room, another window, added that square footage, and it brought the value of the property up. All right, that's what I wanted to show y'all. Here's some material out there. This is where they're actually adding the room in the garage. There you go right here. I mean, it made a huge difference. It made a huge difference. The tenant never knew that we added that room in there. They didn't even know. They just liked it that it was a 4-bedroom. The tenant wasn't a Section 8 family, but who was it? Can you tell them what did she do? Just curious.
I think she worked. I forgot what her job was.
She's a teacher.
Oh, she was a teacher?
Yeah.
She
was a teacher.
I got confused because we did so many walkthroughs. Like, we had people even come to the property. Like, we were screening them there. It was just a lot of them. So, yeah.
It was a lot of people that we screened, so she didn't. I knew exactly, but we had a couple of Section 8 families come through, but I passed them up because they just didn't pass. It is what it is. But anyway, here we go. Let me finish up. All right, so let me show you the after pictures, but let me show you this pool. I thought that was, we added new lines in here. I mean, this was a really deep rehab. And again, it's not like she paid cash for the property. That's not the way to do it. Here's my contractors in here filling the pool up. That's the key, like I says. And by the time this was done, you would never be able to tell that there was a pool there. You just wouldn't. Look at that. Filled that in. This right here was about a week process right here. About 1 week, maybe a little bit over a week. We never picked up a tool or a screwdriver. Brand new AC put in. All right, here's the process now as it's getting rehab. Who wants to see the after pictures? Y'all let me know as I get this set up. I don't know if y'all want to see this or if you have any other questions. Willing to answer some questions. I don't know who else out here is giving a live like this where they're actually teaching you something or showing you what they have. I'm showing you the process and how this works, and you can do the same thing. Do you self-manage or use a PM, a property manager? I self-manage myself. I have systems and processes in place. You don't have to have a property manager. And property managers are not going to care about your properties more than you are. Okay, I promise you that. They don't have any skin in the game. All they're doing is taking money. Trust me on that. All right, look at this. Somebody said they're still interested. Awesome. All right, I just want to make sure y'all are still there. But look, this is it getting rehabbed and getting fixed up. And again, I teach you how to go out there and find good quality contractors. They did a good job at covering everything up because they got to repaint everything. We got the interior paint done. Now my computer's acting up. Okay, hold on. All right, give me a second. Now I'm going to show y'all what it looks like afterwards. All right, let me show y'all the after pictures because you're going to see the big change in it, and it was well worth it. If I can find the after pictures. 1 second.
So after this, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
Hi, put you in the hot seat.
All right, here we go. Let me show you this. Here's what her property looks like now, okay? And we already had it rented out. She rented it out for 2.5, almost 3 years. But look at this. Look at the difference, okay? And again, like I stated earlier, it was about a 3-month rehab. Everything got redone on it. We had good tenants in there. She was a teacher. She kept care of the property, very good. And there's my contractor right there. But yeah, it was well worth it. Came out looking good. She cash flow every single month, brought the value of it up. Check it out. Tell me what y'all think. Give me a thumbs up if you think it looks good. Or give me a thumbs down if you think this is... Now, something I do is I like to keep my properties neutral as far as the color. A gray or a beige, brown or gray carpet. That's all you got to do. Now, when you have houses like this, they'll rent out in a heartbeat. It doesn't take long for them to rent out. I'm just telling you what I do, guys. I don't do this fix and flip and wholesaling. I'm just trying to show people, if you want to build wealth, this is the way to go. Wholesaling, this arbitrage that you hear out there, that's not building wealth. You can't do the same thing, okay? But look at what it looked. This was that wood panel. So what I do is I just get it painted. As long as it's not damaged or anything, this would cost a lot of money for a contractor to come out there and replace it and make it sheetrock. This is just a rental. So my thing is I make my properties clean and functional. Who liked that information I just gave them? I'm just curious. Did anybody learn anything? Is that good information? Is anybody else teaching you and taking the time out and teaching you all the process like this? Let me know. I'm curious. They usually end up with about 500,000 likes, but I mean, you just let me know. Just give me a thumbs up if this was good stuff. I'm not here to show you anything else, just the process and giving you value. So by the time you come to my live, you could be like, yeah, I definitely learned something. I definitely got something out of this. I don't know if anybody Really appreciate it. But anyway, we're gonna ask some questions. My daughter wants to ask me questions. How do you find quality, affordable contractors? Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I teach you how to do that. But one way to find good, quality, affordable contractors are through friends and family. Believe it or not, I found a lot of my contractors through friends and family. I trust them, like them, and trust them, and that's why I rely on my friends and family and other investors, by the way. But I teach all this in the upcoming stuff. Do you teach how to run numbers of the property? Yes, I do, Tony. I got something coming up pretty soon, and I will let people know. But I will be teaching you the everything from the beginning all the way to the end. All right, my daughter's going to ask me some questions now about this process, I guess, and about real estate.
We just scoot it back.
Yeah.
When you're reviewing the application, can you decline them for whatever reason? I don't think it's for whatever reason. I think it's certain criteria that my father had, like criminal background. I know another one that's important is if you can't afford to live in the home, you don't want to.
Yeah, you can't. It has to be something reasonable. I can't just deny them for any reason. I'm always fair about my process, and I'm very stringent on what I do and the way and my process. But you can't just do for whatever reason. It has to be a good, reasonable. Like for example, I won't accept pets. That's a good, reasonable reason. Why not to accept tenants? If I look at their credit score and their credit score is low, then I can deny them. That's if they have a criminal background record, I can deny them. Eviction, I can deny them. Those are things why I can deny people. And I got to keep it fair across the board with any other tenant that comes through there. Good question. All right. I already answered that one.
Okay. Let's see here what I got here. So I know what a good property looks like. The typical 4-bedroom, 2 baths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Middle class. What's a property that you kind of just go the opposite way? Let's say it's still in the middle. Is it just based on how many rooms there are? Does it matter about the location only? Like, what makes it not a good investment?
Okay, good question. So one of the things that I look for in properties, I'm looking at the dimensions of the property. For example, I won't buy a 2-bedroom home. I would not buy I did that years ago, and I come to find out that families, especially when you got one adult or 2 adults and you got children, they are not wanting to be in a 2-bedroom home. It's just not big enough. So the other alternative is they would rather get a condo or an apartment complex or a little apartment unit. So I won't get another 2-unit. And I also look at the square footage. If the square footage isn't over 1,400 square foot, that's just typically pretty small, then I won't even buy it. Those are some of the things that I've just learned through the process that are just not worth getting into.
Okay. So I know you like to buy homes that are not in like tip-top shape. This one, the one that we bought or I bought, it wasn't like really, really bad because I could see the potential in it, but would you ever be like, yeah, this is way too much rehab, or there's no such thing as too much rehab?
No, I bought a property in 2019 that needed a whole lot of rehab. The one up by, BP,
Mm-hmm.
that needed a whole lot of rehab. And a lot of people did turn it away. So when you're able to capture big products like that or big projects like that, it doesn't scare you.
But what made it worth it? Was it, like how were you able to know?
Good question.
It was worth it.
So how did I know that it was worth it? Because I ran my numbers. I bought that house at the time for very cheap, but yet again, I knew what it was worth. And I knew what I had to put into it because I ran my numbers and I got my contractors out there. Once I looked at the numbers, it was a no-brainer. And as a matter of fact, I might show you that property right here if y'all want to see it. Let me answer Tony's questions. Do you all answer? See,
What is it? Do you all purchase properties in C neighborhoods?
All right. So what Tony's asking me is, if I'm gonna buy it in a rough neighborhood, no, I won't do that. I don't care what the numbers look like. You people have to understand. I won't buy that in the hood or in like that. That's just me personally. The values don't go up as much as they should, and it's a safety thing, especially if I don't know the area. But I won't buy in a C neighborhood because most people are not going to want to live in a C neighborhood. You got a greater range of people that are middle class and they will be able to afford it and will stay in your properties in a middle class area. Now, I'm not going to buy in an A area, okay, where it's Beverly Hills, but I'm not going to buy in Compton. I just can't do that. It's in between is what I want. Yeah, good question.
So back to that home that you did a lot of rehab. So you're saying you ran the numbers before you even try to go forward to title company.
So when I buy my properties, I always run the numbers before to know what I'm getting into, and that's what you should do too. You don't wait till you get it and then run the numbers. It's too late. And I'll show you that property. This was actually one of my worst properties that I ever bought as far as
I think I remember
what it looked like. Yeah, what it looked like. But most people turn it away because it looked so bad. I had already ran my numbers and knew what it was worth. I bought it for very cheap, put a little bit of money into it because I leveraged by using other people's money. And let me just show y'all if y'all want to see it. Yep, that's it.
Watch this. Boom.
Yep.
Like I show them?
Yeah.
Look.
Here it is, right?
That's my
I'm about to flip it over. I'm going to show y'all this property right now if y'all want to see it. Tap your screen because I'm going to show you this is, again, my worst property that I ever did. Did Jasmine have any more questions or do y'all have any more questions? Let me know by putting them in the chats. Let us know if you have any questions about real estate. What do y'all want to know? And again, all I teach is the buy and hold strategy. As I set this up, I'm going to show y'all
Wasn't Tony in there earlier? Or is it a different Tony?
I think it's a different one.
Oh, my bad.
So let me show y'all this property that I bought in 2000, and I still have this property by the way today. I'm going to show y'all this.
You know what year you bought that?
I bought this in 2019. Okay.
2019.
Yep, I bought this house in 2019. But I'm going to show y'all some more game, and everything that I teach, I want to show y'all something. Everything that I teach, it doesn't matter your location. I want to make that clear. It doesn't matter whether you're in California, New York, Alabama. In New York and New York and California, the prices are high. You can always move somewhere else. All right, Mike Do It All says or asks, with a property manager, do they screen tenants on my behalf? Mike Do It All, yes, they do. They're going to screen it on your behalf, but you can learn the screening process too. And if you have a way to do it, you can show them. But yeah, they're going to do it. But I just personally don't deal with property managers, especially when all my stuff is local. Okay. All right. Watch this. Let me show y'all this property that I bought again in 2019. All right. And when I bought this, you could see it was in horrible shape. My wholesaler brought this to me. Said, Eric, I don't know if you're going to want this property. It's been for sale for about 3 months now, and nobody's biting on it. And I could see why, because look at this. Look how bad this was. The owner had passed away, and they were having some issues trying to get it sold. So the kids had it, and they didn't want the property no more, so they wanted to get rid of it. And nobody was taking care of it. Look at this home. It's actually in a great neighborhood. The problem was the house itself was so bad that it brought the other neighborhoods' houses' values down, and the neighbors were getting mad. And nobody wanted to buy this property. Nobody wanted to buy it. Again, I still have this property today. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. And you could see that one of the realtors that told me, man, somebody was suggesting me to tear down the property and just rebuild it. I said, no, I won't do that. It doesn't make any sense. It's already structured. I might as well keep it and just build off of that. These are the things you'll learn, and I teach you how to do this. But this is in Texas. This is in Texas. All right, so look at this house, okay? Really, really bad shape. And I want y'all to take a guess on how much I paid for this house in 2019. Take a guess on what I paid for this house. The reason why my contractors are covering their nose right here because there were dead cats in here. There were 11 cats. Only 3 of them died. All right, take a guess on how much I paid for this. In 2019. Somebody got it right. They must have seen my live, so I'm just gonna. They must have seen this one before. So I'm gonna just act like I ain't even seen. But look how bad this home was. Look. Okay. The windows needed to be replaced. The roof had to get replaced. They did not take care of this house at all. Look at the windows. All right. You can see how bad of a man. This had so much trash in here that we had to get an 8-foot bin. I paid $55,000 for this home. $55,000.
That's good.
And that was good because the house was worth. This is the first I just watched on. No, it ain't. All right. Yeah. That my daughter was on HGTV. He said this is the first I just watched HDTV. All right. No, it didn't sit for a while because it didn't have a garage. It sat for a while because of how bad the house was. That's why. How do you design the rehab? Do you use a software to make the plans or hire someone to do it? Elizabeth, great question. There's no design that you have to do. It's all about just replacing everything that's broke. Okay? You don't have to need a software program. A lot of this too is, over time you'll just get better with stuff, right? You don't need an interior decorator. You don't need that. People over rehab their properties. That's why a lot of them pass this up because you just don't. I'm going to show you what this house looked like afterwards. I just keep everything clean and functional. You don't have to get fancy with it. You don't need to knock down walls like they show on these TV shows. You don't need to do all that. I'm going to show you. I just keep it clean and functional. Nothing fancy. It even had termites, okay? But because it doesn't have a garage, it's okay. You can always put a carport on there, okay? So that eliminates the fact that it doesn't have a garage, all right? Now, let me tell you again. This house I bought it for $55,000. Here's the backyard. But it was worth $280,000. I'm telling you, running your numbers is important. I'll repeat that one more time. I bought it for $55,000. And it was worth $280,000. It's worth way more than that now. Like I said, I bought this in 2019. Asked me, did they know what it was worth? No, they did not know it was worth. They weren't investors, and plus they just wanted to sell the property because they were in a financial position, so they didn't care. No, this is not a tax deed. My realtor brought this to me. All right, I'm gonna go through here real quick, and then I'm gonna show y'all the after pictures. Okay, now what I want y'all to know too is when I had this house and my other houses, I was still working at corporate America. So what I'm telling you is you don't have to, you can still work at corporate America. You don't have to quit your job. Okay, if you see the houses next to it, it's actually in a good area. It's just in a good neighborhood. It's just a bad home. No flooding. No flooding at all. Okay? So here's the home. And I actually had to get some landscaping done too. But I'm going to show y'all the after pictures. Y'all are going to be like, man, there's no way. I still have this house today too. I still have this property. And I'm renting it out. And I rent my property out to Section 8. Here again, here's what I want y'all to see. Here's the neighborhood right here. As you can see, it's a nice neighborhood sitting on nice lots. It's just this house was so bad. The neighbors were complaining about it. And they said, man, somebody needs to come in here and clean this up. And it was in bad shape. I had 3 of these bins full of this stuff right here. 3 of these bins. This is an 8-foot bin. I can't remember how many yards it is, but that's a lot of stuff. Most people turn this house down, not even realize the opportunity in it. Look at this. All right, now I'm about to show y'all the after pictures. Are y'all ready for this? And by the way, take a guess on how much the rehab was, because I had to pay for rehab. I didn't pay for it out of pocket. It's the type of loan that I use. So before we go further, let's get into this. How much was the rehab, you think? I'll let you know. I just want to see what y'all can guess.
I would say.
Yeah, that's right. It's a 40-yard bin. 40-yard bin. 30,000 higher than that.
I'm gonna guess 57.
My daughter said 57. She's close. It was 55,000.
Oh,
So let's put all this the numbers together. I bought it for 55,000. I paid $55,000 worth of rehab. Not me. It's in the loan, and it was worth 280. I already knew what my numbers were. Most people turned that house down. That's how I was able to get it. My realtor brought this to me. Now I'm going to show y'all the after pictures.
so no one tried to compete with you?
Nobody tried to compete with me.
Okay.
What they did was people turned away from it because they thought it was going to be too much work. It was a lot of work, but
It was worth it.
it was worth it in the long run. This house I would definitely keep in my portfolio for a long time. I'm not getting rid of this house no time soon. So I want to show you all the after pictures. Again, I was working for corporate America. You can do this too. You can do this too. There's really no excuse, but everybody has usually some excuses for why they can't do it. But if you want to, you're able to do this. All right? And you got a construction loan for this? Nope, no construction loan. No construction loan. Watch this. Okay, so before I get started, guys, so that I know that y'all like this, please tap your screen because I'm about to tell y'all some more information. Just like I said, I'm just flooding you with value. Now, what you do with this information is up to you. You know, if you want to come to me and learn more, come to my lives. I teach you this. My free stuff is more than what most people are giving on their lives. My free stuff is more than what people are getting in mentorships, believe it or not. Jesse, to answer your question, I did not use a construction loan. I used something called a hard money loan. A hard money loan takes care of the purchase price, rehab, and the closing costs up to 75% of the after repaired value. So because I bought it for so cheap and it was worth so high, they lent me a lot of money. What's that?
I'll ask it after.
Okay. All right, so here we go. Let me show you all the after pictures because it gets better than this. Check this out. Like I told y'all, I had to get the trees trimmed because it needed it. Plus, I wanted to get it off of the roof. Again, I bought this house for $55,000. It was worth $280,000, and I still have it today. I still have this house today. You can see the siding got redone. We had to get the windows replaced. This was a 4.5 month rehab. 4.5 months because you can see it was in horrible shape. We put a brand new roof on. Siding needed to get done. Totally different than what it used to be. And I had other properties, and I got a family to take care of. There's no reason why you can't do it. I'm no different than anybody else. It's just that I took the time out to make a change and do whatever I could to make it happen. It was more important for me to take a risk and get financial freedom instead of working for somebody else for the rest of my life. Let me show y'all. Let me get straight to the pictures where it gets even better. Watch this. All right. Check it out. Now I rent my property out. I get cash flow every single month. The tenant's happy. It's building wealth even more because I bought it in 2019. Now look at it. What y'all think? Remember, this, if you saw my live earlier, before picture, this was a messed up chimney. I got 2 windows put in here. 2 windows. Boom. It didn't even have these windows on here before. Look at this. Brand new carpet. Redid the bathrooms. And I'm renting it out. It's cash flowing over $800 a month. Building equity every single month. Every single year, and anybody can do this. Now, don't think that a trade school is going to teach you this. Don't think that you can be a realtor and think you're going to do this because they're not going to teach you as being a realtor. They just don't. This is through experience and learning from somebody that knows exactly what they're doing. That's just a little bit of the pictures right there. I used, like I said, you could do seller financing, you could do private lending, but this is perfect for a hard money loan. I like buying properties that need rehab. Simply because you're buying it below market value. You're getting all that equity capture. And I tell you what, you don't need a license to do this. You do not need a license. My daughter was going to ask me a question. Man, I'm giving so much free information out here tonight, man. It's
You can't scoot it. Or maybe I'll sit closer. No, you can put it right there. I'll sit closer to you.
put it right.
I'll just sit closer.
All right. She's going to ask me some questions. Does anybody have any questions? Put them in the chats.
I was gonna say, what's the difference between hard money and like what is it, FHA loan?
Okay, so FHA loan is for basically your primary home. You only put 3% down. Hard money loan is an asset based lending. They don't really look at your credit; they're looking more at the deal itself. If the deal makes sense, then that's when they move forward.
So the likelihood of them declining is due because of the deal not making sense. If the numbers don't.
If the
make
numbers
sense.
don't make sense, no. But another option is you could use private lending to get deals that need rehab like this. The hard money lender that I used for this deal, they knew that it was worth it. They lent me the $55,000. They knew what the house was worth, and therefore that's why. And I knew what it was worth, so I moved forward. And I knew what my rehab costs were going to be because I got the contractors in there. Where are you located? In Texas. Any question? What did you have another question?
What's the difference? Like, is there a difference with like multifamily homes when it comes to that?
No, you can use hard money loans for multifamily too.
But as a beginner, you would recommend a single family home.
I would start off with single families. That's what I did.
And not, would you do mobile home? Would you do like these barndominiums type of things, or?
No, I don't go to. I wouldn't do a mobile home. Never do a mobile home.
Why?
Mobile home park maybe, but never a mobile home because mobile homes lose value. It's almost as bad as buying a car.
Guaranteed they lose value.
They will lose value. Are you going to auctions? Jesse, yes, I was a couple of years ago, but I come to find out with auctions, I'm not going to say they're not good deals, but you just got to be really careful because with auctions, you can't go and get an inspector in there, all right? You're buying the property as is, where is, without an inspection. Now, that's just my opinion. I wouldn't buy no house and spend all this money and get a loan for it if you can't get it inspected because you're running at your own risk. If you're experienced, then yeah. Now, that's just my carefulness moving forward. That's just me personally. But there are good deals out there. I'm in the East. Somebody says, Alvin Pro says, I'm in East Texas. Awesome. All right. Any other questions about real estate, though? Not about our location, but what do you want as far as value, right? What do you want to learn? What do you want to know?
Would you ever buy a home with a tenant living in it?
My daughter asked, would I ever buy a home with a tenant in it? I've done that before, and
Does that mean
it's okay.
The house is already fixed up and ready to go, basically?
If it was like that?
And I'm saying when a tenant lives in the home, typically the house is pretty decent, or
No, depending on how long they've been in there. If they've been in there for 2 years and you buy it, it might not be in great shape. So would I buy it in there? Yeah, I'd buy it because, and I've done that a couple times. It's not a bad thing. It's just some things got to be on hold. Like you can't do no rehab until the lease is up. So things like that, but you got to juggle it.
So they have to stay in there. Like you can't just be like, okay, I'm the owner. I want a different tenant.
I could do that. One of them, I bought it, and the tenant was in there, and now that I'm the new owner, the lease changes and everything, so they have to move out. I had to do that on one of the properties, so it does happen. Do you recommend leasing Airbnbs? All right. So regular human, you sound like maybe you're talking about like arbitrage. I think that's what you're talking about. No, I would not do arbitrage because you're not owning the property. Now, do I do Airbnbs when I own my properties? Yes, I've done it before. Top Seller asks, what do I look for in buying multifamily home? That's something that I teach. There's no way I could sit there and explain that on a live, and there's no way. I teach this stuff. Is all your properties in Texas? No, I have 2 apartments in Augusta, Georgia. What do I look for in multifamily? There's so many things to look for, Top Seller, in a multifamily, whether it's multifamily or single family. You got to look at the numbers. You got to look at your equity capture. You're buying it below market value. The area, you need to know that. Are you near hospitals, highways? Is it in a good neighborhood? There's so much to look at. Again, I teach this. There's no way I'm able to, spit that out within a short amount of time on a live.
So since hard money loans, they don't really check your credit score. They mainly check the deal. Well, where does credit score come into play?
Good point. Credit score does not play a part when it comes to hard money loans, right? That's what makes it so good. I love most of my properties I purchased with hard money loans simply because, not because my credit is bad, because it's not. It's just that they fund me so much on the deal up front. They will fund you about 75% of the after repaired value. So in other words, if the house is worth $100,000, they're going to give you and loan you to $75,000. That's a lot of money. All right. Irma asks, what is the main thing you look in a property to make a decision in buying it? Irma, I look at the numbers. The numbers must make sense. It doesn't even matter to me what the house looks like. As I showed you on my live earlier, if you were here, as long as the numbers make sense. If I'm buying it below market value, I got to look at the ARV. How much will I cash flow? How much is it going up in value? That's what I say. So did they loan you 100? Yes, Eric Robertson. They loaned me the full. Well, no, not the full amount, but most of it. On that property right here that I'm talking about, I only put $3,300 down. That's how much I put down on that house right there. So they gave me a lot of money, and I had to come out with $3,300 out of my own pocket. Was it worth it? All over. I'd do it all over again. So because somebody has to put money down, it doesn't make it a bad deal, right? And I'm not saying, financially, but that's a poor man's mentality. Poor stands for passing on opportunities repeatedly. Don't pass up an opportunity simply because you got to put some money down. It doesn't make sense. Do you assist your students with business structures to obtain funding? London Grace, I will assist you and guide you on where I think that you should go, and I'm going to give you all the opportunities that you have, a listing of type of fundings. Okay, I can't tell you which one to do. I can just offer you the options that I would recommend that you can choose, but I can't tell you which one to pick. That I can't do that. But I'll help you out as much as possible. Yes, I do. And there's all different type of loans out there, and I would teach you and show you those type of loans. All right, good question. Somebody was asking me about the ARV on that property. That was $280,000 when I bought it. It was worth $280,000, but I bought it for $55,000, and rehab cost was $55,000, not out of my own pocket, in the loan. Was you gonna ask me something?
There was a lot of different contractors going inside the house. So how do you just trust you give them the money and say, you know what, I'm gonna trust you, get it done.
Okay, good question. So with these contractors, you have to develop a relationship with them, right? So I've already developed a relationship with them. So I don't give them all the money up front to begin with. Okay, that's first and foremost. Second, I only give them a portion of the money to do the rehab. So I give them a portion of it. I just give them a portion of the money, all right? And then they do the rehab, and then I get reimbursement from the hard money loan. So that's how that works. But no, never give the contractors like 100% all the money and then tell them to go do it. You just got to give it in portions. Good question.
What did they say? How long did it take you to generate enough money to quit your corporate job?
Okay, regular human. I worked at a plant, and I was making six figures, okay? I'm going to tell you what I did. I ended up having, I ended up buying 30 single-family houses. 30. I could have left at about 16. But that's up to you. You got to look at your finances and see what's good for you, because what's good for you is not good for me, right? Or vice versa. Your daughter ready to start buying? Big T, she already bought one. I just went to that property. I mean, you must have missed it on my live, but she already bought one. She already sold it, or we're in the process of selling it.
I kept it for 3 years.
She kept it for 3 years, rented it out, and now we were doing a live over there earlier this morning. Material first, labor last. All right. I quit my corporate America after my ninth. Awesome. Yeah, everybody's going to be different because you got to look at this. You got to say, okay, what are my monthly finances and responsibilities? How much do I got to pay every month, right? And then you got to go from there. So, everybody's situation is going to be different, and how much you're cash flowing on each property. All those things come into play. Irma says, for the loans, all the banks offer this type of loan. Or you're asking me, no, I don't deal with banks. That's the key right there. I don't deal with banks. Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, they wouldn't have touched that home because it needs rehab. Those big commercial banks, they're not investor friendly. They just want to buy properties that are ready to go, turnkey. I deal with an investor type of loans that I can do stuff like that. Jesse asks, if you could invest $20,000 into somewhere, where would you start? If I could invest $20,000 into somewhere, somewhere would be a single family house. That's what I would invest it in. Everything that I'm talking about tonight.
I think my home, you do a down payment, right?
Yeah.
I think mine was 7.
7,000?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's real good. Cornelius asks, DSCR loans good? Yes, DSCR loans are good. Those are really good. They don't look at your credit either. Now, with a DSCR loan, they're looking at the projected amount of rent that's going to be on that property. Okay, so it doesn't even look at your credit score. So that is a good source to use to get funding for your deals. But somebody was asking me, and he's making a good point, and I overlooked what her statement was. But thank you for correcting me, Lands. If you could invest $20,000 into somewhere, where would you start? You need to get educated though first, because he is exactly right.
I was gonna say, I would spend my money towards learning it.
Yeah.
Get close to someone that knows how to do it, and then you'll know how to do it.
That's exactly right, because getting funding for your property is not hard. It's just that people don't know. What you need to know is you need to get educated in the process. One of the things I did wrong when I first started out, I got into real estate and I just threw money at deals. That's how I messed up. This is how I learned so much, and I can confidently show you my deals, the process, because I've went through it. And you don't want to just throw money at something just because you got some. Yeah. Get educated.
Because I don't have to go now. I don't have to say, dang, I just wasted X amount of money when I could have prevented that when I got it. Well, I got it from my father. He taught me how to do it.
Right. She ended up I didn't finance it for her, there was no money of my money that I put into her deal. She did it all herself. I just guided her through the process, right? And helped her out. That's what I did. Tobit 311, have you flipped any properties in California? It's expensive in our market. Tobit, you can always flip in different areas. If flipping is something that you want to do, you don't have to do it in California. You can flip in different areas. Would I recommend it? No. I would not recommend flipping even where I'm at. I just don't like the flipping process. I used to do flipping, but it created another job, right? You do the buy and hold strategy, it's not a job. You set this up one time, and it's set it and forget it. It really is. Good questions, though. Good questions.
Would you buy in I remember looking at flood zones?
Okay, so my daughter asked, would I buy in flood zones?
If the say the numbers are real nice.
If the numbers are real nice, yes, I would still buy it, because you're going to have something called insurance. So if something were to happen to your property, and I've had it happen to my property, we just had some storms here. So it wasn't a flood thing, it was a hurricane thing, and it tore up my roof. I ended up getting a brand new roof on. And I'm going to show that in one of my videos coming up too in the near future, because they already fixed the roof on it. I just I got to get the tenants moving out and I'm getting it rehab. But yeah, those things you're not going to be able to avoid. Floods and stuff like that. It's verification.
Oh, to know if it ends or not.
Yeah. So floods are so those things don't matter. Okay, so good questions, guys. Does anybody have any questions before I get out of here? What do y'all want to know about real estate, man? I think this was a good live, man. I think we went over a lot of stuff trying to teach people. Did you have any more questions?
More questions?
Yeah. What is he asking right there?
Is buy and hold just buy it and pay the mortgage on it myself and watch it every month? I don't pay. That's the purpose of putting a tenant in the property. So that's what I learned. You put the tenant in the property. The rent that you're charging them will cover the mortgage, and then you should, if you do it right, you should have a little bit left over, which is your cash flow. That was good, huh?
Well said.
Yeah, I'm a teacher
well
now.
said. So she cash flow pretty good on this property. So no, you're like she said, you're gonna rent it for this much. Your mortgage and insurance and all that is already paid for, and the difference is you get that difference, and that's your cash flow. Good question. How many houses do you have? Do you use property management? Thank you, Raja. I have 16 single family houses. Do I have a property management? No, I do not. I do not have a property management. All right.
Turn my rental into our
Owner finance.
Owner finance.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Owner finance.
So owner finance is basically, instead of them going to the bank, he's being the bank for the buyer. And that's owner financing is good because it's more flexible, it's more negotiable. He can ask for a lower down payment. He can get more flexible terms.
It's like,
like
private lending?
No, that's not private lending. That's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm turning my rentals into owner financing. That's what he states. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. All right. Gosh, man. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Somebody just followed me. Any other questions? How often do you travel to your properties? When the lease is up? Good question, regular human. No, I check out my properties at least quarterly. That's what I do. At least once a quarter, I like to go and inspect my properties. I give a notice to my tenants, and I let them know, hey, look, I'm going to stop by and I want to check it out. Because another reason why I want to do that is because I want to make sure they're keeping up with my properties. But because I'm dealing with Section 8 and they do annual inspections, when I can go over there and catch it before the inspection from the Section 8 comes through there, that makes my life a lot easier. Somebody says, I have $125,000 equity in a home and possibly want to buy an apartment complex as a new investor.
Hey, you want to go big like that already?
Okay. If you want to get an apartment complex, I don't teach that. Yes, I have them, but I'm not teaching that. I'm teaching people about single family. But if you want to go get an apartment complex, have at it. I'm just going to tell you, I think people are getting the wrong understanding. Single family is a single family, duplex, tri, or quad. Okay, that's not a multifamily. So I think you mean single family because 5 units and more is considered multifamily or an apartment complex. All right.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. Don't you gotta really keep an eye on that, and it's a different strategy from single family?
Yeah, buying an apartment complex is not the same as buying a single family house. That's why I don't teach it. There's two different animals. That's almost like saying, hey, look, I want to buy a Hyundai, or do I want to buy a Mercedes? They're two cars, but they're on two different spectrums. One is way better than the other. One is driven differently. It's just mechanics are different. The technology is different. Same thing with single families and apartments. They're not the same thing. They're both real estate. You're talking about two different animals. Yeah, like 8 or 10. Yeah, two different animals. Trust me on this. Yeah. But I don't teach apartments. I only teach single families because this is the more common thing that people can get into.
I feel like single family is like you're getting especially if you're a beginner, you're kind of getting the feel of what it's really like, and then you can get another one, then another one.
That's right. You gotta start off. In my opinion, you just gotta start off small, and this is what I teach people. Single family is something that you can get into and grasp and hold it better and understand it. Good question. Okay, I'm done, Jasmine.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank y'all very much. All
See
right.
y'all next time.
All right. Well, there we go, guys. Just teaching y'all about single family. Like I said, my daughter had bought one about 3 years ago. We're in the process of selling it. But as her dad, I'm teaching her the game. And it's so important for me to teach people about getting a new skill like real estate. Because I'm going to promise you at the end of the day, nobody's going to be able to take this skill away from me. And they won't be able to take it from you either, right? Once you learn a skill like real estate, it doesn't go away. You keep it. It doesn't matter what the economy does. It doesn't matter if you lose your job, which is what happened to me. That's why I got into real estate. But it was well worth it. So somebody says good night. All right. Alvin says bye. Thank you for sharing this info. Yeah, regular human. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I think this is good information. Again, I'm not I'm not calling anybody out, but I like bringing value. If you're going to spend time with me, this stuff, which is free, most people are not giving you this information. They're showing you their materialistic stuff, or they're just answering the question. I'm actually giving you value. So, is it good? Yeah, I think it's good. I like sharing this information. And if my free information was like this, what do you think my paid information is going to be? So it's really up to you. G.A. Tosser says, how often do you go live? I try to go every single day. I've been busy for the past few weeks, so I haven't been going live like I used to, but I'm going to start that back up. I used to go twice a day, but now I'm just going to slowly get back into it every single day. I'm going to come on tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, but if you like this information, just stay tuned and come to my lives. I think it's awesome. Where is everybody from? I'm just curious. Is everybody from California, New York? Tell me where y'all are from so I can get an idea. I'm really curious. Let me know where y'all are from. Because everything I teach, like I said, guys, it works anywhere. It doesn't matter what city or state you're in. Tony said Louisiana. Somebody said CA. Foreman says Texas. Bakersville, California, Alabama. It works anywhere, man. I'm telling you. This stuff works. What doesn't work is if you don't put in the action. If you don't take action, this ain't going to work for you. I don't care where you're at. Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts, California. Awesome. What got me into real estate? Because my corporate America job laid me off early in my career. They laid me off. No warning, no sympathy, no nothing. So they threw me out there. And I was like, okay, well, I got to make the best of this. And I did. I said I could become bitter or I could become better. And I chose to become better because I'm going to guarantee you one thing. Do not think that corporate America's got your back, because they will drop you in a heartbeat, because you are replaceable, right? You are replaceable. And I got to learn that quickly in corporate America. And I started when I was 25. I'm 51 now. So they threw me for a loop. And I have a family to take care of. I had my 2 kids being born. And I bought me my brand new home, which I still have today, because I bought a home in 1997. I still have it today, and I'm renting it out. So, yeah. They threw me out for the wolves, and that's okay.
I got a suit.
Huh? Okay. And it was worth it. I still got that same house today. Let me show you. Who wants to see my mentor back in the day? I'm curious. Does anybody want to see one of my mentors? I show this every once in a while. Tap your screen, because I'm going to show you how things have changed over time. Now it's sad, but you don't know who to believe out there, right? But this guy, he was very big back in the day. Let me show y'all this. I show this every once in a while. I bought this in 1997. I didn't buy my first home until 3 years later, my first investment property. But check this out. I don't know if y'all know who this is. I show this all the time. Carlton Sheets. He was big back in the 90s, 80s and the 90s. I also got his DVD, not DVDs, tape, VHS. So what happened was I saw this on late night TV, and I was like, man, I got to get this. This is Carlton Sheets, was big back in the day. The reason why I didn't move forward with him was 2 reasons. I'm going to show you 2 reasons why I didn't move forward with him. One is because when I was watching it, he's in Indiana, I'm in Texas, so that wasn't going to do me any good. And the internet wasn't big back then. And then two was that he was talking more about subject twos. But let me tell you what, I learned so much on my own, and I don't want you to go through the same thing. I went through a lot of trials. I lost a lot of money. I gained a lot of stress. But over time, I learned so much. I would have cut my learning curve 4 to 14 years easily if I had a mentor. Easily, if I had had a mentor, I would have cut my learning curve drastically. Okay? But let me explain something to you real quick. What happened was, and I can show it to you if you want, I became good over time. I'm not trying to brag. Don't take it the wrong way. I'm not trying to brag. What I'm telling you is, over time, I learned so much, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I ended up joining finally and got a mentor and joined a mentorship group where I'm at. And I started buying because they taught me the process. It was getting a mentor is what helped me excel. Okay. And they wanted me to teach, and I did at a workshop, at several workshops. Would y'all like to see one of them so I can show you what I'm talking about? Let me know if you want to see this, and I can just show you a little short snippet if you want to. But getting a mentor is so important. That's what helped me scale. I didn't just buy, just trying to figure this out. It's once I learned this and got my mentor that helped me out. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
At 117, that's after repair value, okay? He purchased it for $82,300. His equity at that time was $34,700, so almost $35,000. His rehab, actually, that's pretty light at $9,000. Closing costs, after all that said and done, his net equity.
Now, that's appraised. This is 2015, by the way, 2015. Appraised value is 117. Of course, it's worth more than that. I bought it for $82,000. I still have it today. This is 2015. The point I'm making is
almost $17,000
anybody can do this. It took me a long time to figure this out. I got a mentor, and that's what helped me scale.
Y'all get that?
That is what helped me scale, is simply by getting a mentor. I cut my learning curve 4 to 14 years simply by following somebody that is doing what I wanted to do. I can't make it any simpler than that. I know I make it look easy. I know I make it sound easy. But when you do things repetitively over time, it does become easy. Okay? But the key is people don't want to get started, so they're stuck and they don't move forward. And that will remain you in that broke position, and you don't want to be there. I know for me, I had to make a change for me and my family. And you can always say, well, you know what? I want to wait another 5 years until my kids get out of school. Yeah, you can. You can wait another 10 years. All that means is you have less time to enjoy. If you don't start now, you're going to have less time to enjoy. We only got a certain amount of time here. Everybody's got an expiration date. Tony asks, where can I find information for the cost of your training and mentorship? I'm going to be giving that information pretty soon, Tony, and for everybody out there. I haven't set anything up yet, but I will keep y'all posted. Come to my lives, get my information. Right now, all this is just free. I'm giving you free game information, but I will be starting to do that pretty soon. All right? Good question. The only part I really need to learn is the financing part. Alvin, actually, I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a lot more to it than just the financing part. Let me explain something to you. It's not just the financing. Trust me. It's not you get the financing and then you're good. Trust me on this, man. That's why I have my book out. Financial Freedom. Find, fund, and flow. Find, fund, and flow. It's not just the financing you need. Trust me, my man. It's going to be a whole lot more than you need than that. You just don't know what you don't know. That's all it is. Okay? But that's my book. I have it in a digital format. I'll be I'm out of the hard copies right now, but yeah, it's more to it than just financing. Trust me. I rent out to Section 8, okay? And I teach you this, and I teach people. I don't just do Section 8. I do traveling nurses, insurance companies. But to me, Section 8 has been the best for me. It's good, consistent income. It's guaranteed. And I started out in the early 2000s. So, but yeah, just to let you know, it's not just financing. It's more than that. Does anybody have any questions? What do y'all want to know? What other questions we got? I'm about to get off. I think we had a great live today. For the people that just came in, please don't look at my likes and think that I'm not giving value. I find it odd, but I don't get a lot of likes, which is cool. I'm not here for the likes, but it does help the algorithm, and it brings people into the room because some people want to know about real estate, and the only way they'll know is if people that in the audience tap the screen. But it's all good. I know one thing for a fact is that people are learning off of my lives because I get DM'd all the time, and I know I'm bringing more value than most people. I know that for a fact. So, but don't look at the likes and think that I'm not bringing any value because I can assure you I am. That I can guarantee. Any other questions, man? Because I'm about to get out of here. Now, I plan on coming on tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, maybe in the morning and maybe again at night. I did come on this morning, and I was at my daughter's property, and we did a live on there. So, giving out game, man, I would highly suggest people to take it, man, because what I find fascinating is that people don't want to move the needle, but they want to complain all day that they have no money. You got to take action. It's really that simple. You got to learn as much information as you can and then take action. But most people won't take action. It's sad, but it's the truth in our society today. It's just the truth. Some people are scared. I understand that. People have fear. I did too. But my fear was I don't want to be broke, and I don't want to work for corporate America until I'm 67 and a half years old. Because once you become 67 and a half years old, you are really not going to have any money. You're going to have less than what you have now. And if you're living check to check right now, just think what it's going to be when you don't have that job anymore because you can't work it physically. So think about that. Just something that I used to think of. Those are the things that ran through my head all the time. I was like, man, I am not going to let somebody else steal my time, our most valuable asset. I want to leave with y'all one thing. Can I show y'all this? To me, this is pretty powerful. And this is just how I think. All right? I'm going to show you something, and I show this to people all the time, but if you want this information, I got something else. Is it possible to balance a full-time job in real estate in the beginning of your journey? I guess it depends on the person. Regular human. That's a good question. I worked at a plant. Okay, I'm going to tell you my story. I worked at a plant here in Texas. I worked 12-hour shifts, and I drove an hour and a half to go to work. Let me explain something to you. I was slowly building my rental portfolio while I was working shift work too. So I was working days and nights, nights and days. You can do anything that you want to do if you put your mind to it. I don't know how I did it looking back, driving an hour and a half to go to work. I'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to leave at 4 to be there at 5. I did that for 24 years. Yes, I got wore out. But my goal was so strong, I was willing to do whatever I could. My why was so strong. If your why is not strong enough, this is not going to work. I want y'all to see something. I want y'all to see this. Watch this. You have to want it bad enough. I can't explain it, but he can. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
If you do the 3 things I tell you to do tonight, I guarantee you, whatever it is you want to do in life, you'll be able to do. You will be able to accomplish whatever you want to academically, financially, relationally, whatever. So 3 things. All right, now I'm going to tell you the story. I got to get out of here. And the story is about, you guys have probably heard about this before. It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money. And so he went to this guru, right? He told the guru, I want to be on the same level you are. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he like, this guy crazy. Adrian, he like, I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. He got me in. So he said, come out a little further. Walked out a little further. Then he had it right around in this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. Came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man like, I'm about to go back in here. This God is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man didn't scratch it, holding him down. I got you. I know you brushed it out, but I got you. He had him held down. I need you for an illustration. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answer the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? Lee, I'm looking for a different word though than live. What's that word? He said I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
See, I couldn't say it as good as him, but the point is, the reason why people are not out where they're at, because they just don't want it bad enough. I mean, I know that's hard to hear, but if you want it bad enough, you'll go get it. Period, point blank. If it's something of dire need and you want to make a change, you won't make excuses. Most people make excuses instead of making a change. Oh, well, you know what? I'm too old. Oh, well, you know what? I don't have the money. Oh, well, you know, I'm away from my kids to get out of school. I'm just telling you, man. I done lost some viewers, but I don't care because it's the truth. I wanted it bad enough. When they laid me off, I said, I'm not going through this again. I'm never going to go to this position again. I'm never going to give somebody that much control that all they got to do is get rid of me for any reason, and then I ain't got no income. That's financial suicide. It makes no sense. Looking back, I can't believe I did it. But most people do. They live off of one income, and they all depend on a job. Now, I'm not telling you not to stay at your corporate America job. What I'm saying is, I know that I needed a second plan. I needed a plan B just in case plan A didn't work. But I'm glad I went through this because it taught me so much. And now I'm able to share this with others. All right, well, that was a great live, guys. I think I'm just trying to show people, man, there is a better way. There is a different way. It's sad they don't show this in school, but there's a reason for that, because they want us to be employees. But I'm just showing you can be an entrepreneur. You can do real estate. You don't have to pay cash for your properties. Just trying to get rid of some myths. This is doable. All right. I'll be on live tomorrow. Like I said, guys, I'm going to try to come on twice tomorrow. I plan on coming in the morning and then maybe come on in the evening time. But hit that notification bell. I think it still works from last time I heard. That way you can know I'm going live. But I come out here and give gaming information. And I also have a YT page. Go to my YT page and check it out. And if you like that content, subscribe. All right. But I love coming on here, giving value, teaching people. I wish I had this information. I wish I had somebody to come on and spend their hour time to give them free gaming information. I wish I had this. All right. Well, whatever. Somebody said, yep, that was Eric Thomas. He's one of the best motivational speakers out there. There's a lot of them, but he's up there. And I like his delivery. I like his passion, and he's real. All right. So does anybody have any questions? No, I don't have any. Only in Texas, and I'm not here to rent out my properties. So if you're on Section 8, that's not what this is for. This is for real estate investors, so I always have to make that clear because people come on here thinking I'm teaching Section 8, and I'm not. I just teach investors how to go out there and get Section 8 families in your properties when you rent them out. All right, let me see if I can have any questions. Did I miss anybody? Does anybody have any questions before I get out of here? Anybody have any questions before I get out of here? Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'll holler. I will see y'all later. Y'all have a